Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam. And this is another one of those imbalances. You know, we talked about they know the law and you don't. We talked about they're trained in interrogation and you're not trained, right? All these.
Whenever I come from my country, what airport, they stop me. Half hour, 1 hour, every time they stop me in the integration center. So I'm sure they suspect me, but so what is the way to clear myself to them? So I'm not that person, whatever you suspect me, but I'm not that person. So what is the way to go them and clear myself?
Well, and that's something that we would want to talk to you about after the presentation. And that's something that we can certainly offer CLEAR's resources in helping to clear your name.
And we've helped many brothers.
Let me just do this. Let them do the presentation.
So come to us and we can and you know there's a third workshop that we do about travel issues. And you'll see there's another flyer in the back that's just focused on this question because unfortunately many brothers and sisters in the community are suffering from the same issue. So as Tom said, it's something that we can help you with, inshallah.
Let's do this. Presentation মধ্যে যদি কোনো কিছু ট্রান্সলেশন দরকার হয় আমি ট্রান্সলেট করব তারপরে প্রেজেন্টেশন শেষে
Well, but I am going to be asking for responses. So we talked about that talking to law enforcement without an attorney can have, right? If you misremember something, if you get some details, there are other consequences that speaking to law enforcement without an attorney can have. Sure. So if they start prying about your status, about where you're from, about your, when you came to the country, or anyone in your community, if you misremember a date or a detail with that, it could have very real immigration consequences. And so there's another reason why it's best to have an attorney with you who knows how to respond to these types of questions, who knows the law better than the agent that is coming to ask questions.
And a very basic thing, here in America, a lot of times when you meet someone, the first thing they ask you is, hey, where are you from? It's a very normal question. We've all heard it, right?
Yeah.
If someone from the FBI or Homeland Security asks you that question, and you say, oh, I'm from Damascus, under U.S. immigration law, that means that now, as a legal matter, the burden is on you to prove that you have legal status in this country. And if you can't offer the proof, they can deport you. Just because you said, oh, I'm from Damascus. Very normal thing, right? But legally, it makes a huge difference. So that's why even like this very basic question, if an agent is asking you, where are you from, it's better to say, you know what, my lawyer's gonna contact you. Like beyond your name, beyond showing your ID, you really don't want to go farther than that. Because even something very basic can have tremendous legal consequences. And I know that in many of our communities, there are people who are undocumented. There are people who don't have a visa or a green card or, So just remember this. Even something very basic can have immigration consequences.
Very important সিম্পলি এখন আমেরিকাতে বর্তমান যে পরিস্থিতি বিভিন্ন দেশ বিভিন্ন সিটি বিভিন্ন এরিয়া তাদের টার্গেট করা আছে এখন আপনাকে নরমালি যদি জিজ্ঞেস করে একজন আপনি যখন আমরা একজনের সাথে বসে তখন জিজ্ঞেস করে যে তোমার নাম কি কোন দেশ থেকে আসছো কোথা থেকে আসছো আপনি সিম্পলি যদি উত্তর দেন আপনার উত্তরের মধ্যে তাদের যে টার্গেটেড সিটি যেগুলো যেমন দামাশকাস কাবুল এন্ড হোয়াটএভার সিটি দ্যাট দে হ্যাভ তাদের ইন দেয়ার মাইন্ড যদি থাকে তাইলে কিন্তু আপনাকে বিপদে ফেলে দিতে পারে অতএব ইভেন এই আপনার নাম ছাড়া আর কিছু জিজ্ঞেস করলে তখনই বলবেন যে না আমি তোমার সাথে আলাপ করতে পারবো না আমার ওকে ছাড়া সিম্পল এটা
Right, and beyond the real criminal consequences on you, and beyond the immigration consequences on you, there may be consequences that are unknown. When they're asking about members of your community and you're giving over information without thinking first about giving that information or without an attorney who's counseling you on whether that's good information to give to the law enforcement agent, they could use that information to potentially target another member of your community. And so this is why we say that exercising the right to stay silent and only speak to them with an attorney will not only protect you, but it will protect your community as well. It will protect all of the community.
let me just
Yeah, yeah.
উনি যেটা বলতেছেন যে এক্সারসাইজ করতে আপনাকে নীরব থাকার যে রাইট যেটা সেটা হইল সবচেয়ে বেস্ট রাইট আপনাকে প্রোটেক্ট করার জন্য আপনাকে যতভাবে চেষ্টা করুন কোনোভাবে আপনি আপনার নাম ছাড়া আর কিছু বলবেন না থাকে একজন উকিল ছাড়া
But we have not right for show of their ID.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, we're about to.
We're about to get to that. Very
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
very
we'll
good
cover
question.
that.
Should we just?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, okay. So we're talking about your rights, your rights, your rights, your rights. Now we're getting to the part where we'll actually tell you what your rights are at your home when officers come and knock.
Or at the masjid.
Or at the masjid too. Yeah, that's a building. Yeah, that's a building. So these rights apply to everybody, whether you're a citizen, whether you're a U.S. citizen, whether you're not a U.S. citizen. These are your rights in your home. You have the most rights in your home or in your masjid than you have anywhere. More rights in your home than you have on the street. More rights in your home than you have in your car. We're not talking about the car. We're not talking about the street. We're talking about your home. Okay? This is if an agent comes up and knocks on your door. Okay?
Or comes at the mosque and
Knocks on, yeah. Or, okay.
Yeah, because this is your place. It's not the agent's place. The agent is coming to your place, and that's why you have the most rights there.
So we've come up with what we call our 5 golden rules. Okay? We would usually write them out, but I'm probably going to have, this may seem kind of silly, but I'm going to ask people to repeat them so that we can remember them, okay? First rule, because you're at your house or your masjid, is don't let them in.
Repeat করেন. Don't let them in.
Okay. When,
Number 1 rule.
yeah,
First rule.
number 1. When strangers are coming to your door and they knock on your door, you don't just open the door, right? I mean, you aren't doing that for anybody. Like some guys trying to sell you something, you don't say, oh, hey, yeah, come on in. Well, you might do that, but I usually don't do that. But you usually don't do that for strangers, and so you usually don't do that for police either. You have the right to remain in your house with the door closed, okay? They come and knock on the door, you can walk up to the door and you can say, who is it? They say, NYPD. You say, okay. You are there with the door closed, okay? They say, can you let me in? You can say, no. You don't have to. You are not required by law to let them in your house unless, and this is an extreme situation, they have a warrant.
Only happens in the rarest of circumstances.
Very, 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 very rare. We can talk about warrants later if people want to talk about warrants, but I will say the vast majority of the time, it's not an issue, okay?
so remember one thing, if they're asking you for permission. And if they're asking you for permission, that's probably because legally they need permission. And that means you have a right to not give them permission. It's perfectly fine.
Without permission, they can enter the house.
No.
Without permission, they're not supposed to enter the house. Sometimes in practice, they break the law. We know that the police doesn't always respect the law.
For that reason, they can force but enter the house.
So that's why we say never resist, right? You're never going to resist the police, even if they're doing something wrong. But what's important is for you to say, I'm not giving you permission. So that if they cross the line, if they break the law, you can tell us, your lawyers, or some other lawyers, you can tell them, I was very clear, I did not give them permission, and they came in anyway, because then we can use them. But just remember this, if they're asking for permission, they need permission, and as Miles said, if they're knocking and they're saying, hey, can I come in, you don't have to let them in.
I just want to translate this. It's a very important point. উনি বলছেন যদি তারা আপনার দরজা নক করার মানেই তাদের পারমিশন দরকার দেখে নক করছে যদি তাদের ওয়ারেন্ট থাকতো তাহলে পারমিশন দরকার ছিল না এই অবস্থায় আপনাকে সবসময় মেক শিওর করতে হবে যে আপনার দরজা খুলবেন না এখন যদি মনে করেন তারা দরজা ভেঙে ঢুকে যায় সেটা তারা ইলিগাল কাজ করে সেটা আপনি আপনার উকিল যখন বলবেন যে তারা ইলিগালি আমি বলছি ভেরি ক্লিয়ারলি যে এখানে ঢুকতে পারবে না তারপরে সে দরজা ভেঙে সে ঢুকে গেছে সেটা আপনার পক্ষে যাবে কিন্তু কোনোভাবে আপনি দরজা খুলে ভালো মানুষ হয়ে যে আমার অতিথি আসছে কিভাবে দরজাতে বিদায় দিই এটা চিন্তা করবেন কোনোভাবেই। যখন আপনি এই জিনিসটা খেয়াল রাখবেন, যখন দরজা পারমিশন চাচ্ছে তার মানে কি পারমিশন দরকার দেখেই সে চাচ্ছে। যদি তার অলরেডি ক্ষমতা নিয়ে যদি আসতো যে আমি ঢুকবোই, পারমিশন চাইতো না, আপনার দরজা খুললো আমরা অমুক আসছি, যদি না খুললো ভাঙবো, এটা বলতো তারা। যেহেতু এটা বলে নাই তার মানে তার পারমিশন দরকার। এই অবস্থাতে কোনোভাবে দরজা খুলবেন না। যদি তারা ভেঙে ঢুকে যায়, তারা দে ডিড সামথিং ইলিগাল, আপনার উকিলকে বলবেন যে সেটা ওইভাবে ঢুকছে, তারা উকিল টেক কেয়ার করবে।
So that was rule number 1.
Yes. Rule number 1.
Rule number 1.
Don't let anybody in, right?
Don't let them in.
Don't let them in, okay.
Rule number 2. Ask for ID.
Rule number 2. Ask for ID.
So the chef's question in the back, very important question. How do you identify? Ask for ID.
Yes. What you can do, the best way to do this is say, do you have a business card? You know? And a lot of times they'll have a business card. They're supposed to identify themselves when you ask them, okay? And when you ask them, you know, give me your business card, or who are you, where are you from? You're asking this because, one, you want their name, okay? You want to know who is this person asking these questions, and two, you want to know where are they from? Are they NYPD? Are they FBI? Are they ICE? Are they something like that? You know? If you get a business card, it has their name, it tells you where they're from, and you can give it to your lawyer down the road. Okay?
And we can contact them.
Right.
Now they're supposed to identify themselves. They don't, as Miles said, they don't always identify themselves, but they're supposed to. They're supposed to show you their badge, they're supposed to give you a business card, so you know who they are, because anyone can walk off the street and pretend to be FBI or NYPD. You don't know if they are, until they show you something that looks like a badge, until they give you their business card. So until they show you that, or give you the business card, they're gonna try to write, they might like quickly flash something, or tell you, well, I don't have a business card. So at that point you can just say, I don't know who you are. You know, you don't know who they are.
আপনারা সবাই বুঝতেছেন তো ওরা কি বলছে?
You got it? All right.
So that was the second rule.
Yeah. Rule number 2.
Ask for ID.
Okay. Rule number 3, and we've been saying this a lot, many times, and there's a good chance you will have to tell them this, you will have to tell the police this many times too, because this is how you exercise your rights. But you tell them, I don't want to answer any questions without my attorney.
Rule number 3, I do not want to answer any question without attorney.
And that's, you don't have to say it exactly like that.
I know.
Like it's really.
Don't look for the grammar, just say it.
Right.
I want my attorney, or
Yeah.
I don't want to
Something,
answer
however
any
you feel
questions.
Or my lawyer will call you.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you haven't contacted us yet, because we've done these again, hundreds of cases, free of charge. So it's okay if you haven't contacted us yet. You're gonna have our contact information on the flyer. You can call us right away, and we'll call them. So you can say, talk to my lawyer's gonna call you. I don't want to answer questions. I don't want to talk to anyone without a lawyer. You can say whatever, and they're gonna push back. So we're gonna see this, we're gonna talk about this. It's not gonna be easy. They're gonna push back. They're gonna try to pressure you. But remember, this is your right.
And one thing that may be difficult, and we've talked about this a few times with Clear, is that some people that may need to exercise these rights may not speak English very well and may be uncomfortable telling an officer, you know, I don't want to talk to you without my attorney. But you can exercise your right in your language. That doesn't necessarily mean they will understand it or respect it, but you can exercise that. Sometimes they have translators. You can also call Clear or call somebody that you know to tell them, you know? Or a good practice would be write out, I don't want to talk to you without my attorney, on a piece of paper and keep it there. Or bring one of the pamphlets, have one of the pamphlets ready so that you can just say what you need to say to exercise your rights.
This is something I understand. উনি যেটা বলছেন যে ধরুন অনেক সময় যায় এপিএ লোক আসলো ইংরেজিতে কথা বলতে পারতেছেন না আপনি, এই অবস্থায় কি করবেন? এই অবস্থায় এটা এখানে আজকের নলেজটা কিন্তু শুধু আপনাদের জন্য না, আপনারা যেহেতু মসজিদের ইমাম আছেন, দায়িত্বে আছেন, আপনাদের মুসল্লিদেরকে বলার জন্য। যখন তারা আসলো আপনাদের বাসায়, যদি ইংরেজি কথা বলতে না পারে, অ্যাটলিস্ট যদি কেউ থাকে ওইখানে, জাস্ট সিম্পলি কথাটা ইংরেজিতে লিখি, আই ডু নট ওয়ান্ট টু টক টু ইউ or talk to my attorney, I'm going to ask my attorney to talk. এইভাবে সামথিং ইংরেজিতে লিখে আর এই ফ্লায়ার যদি নিয়ে যায় প্যাম্পলেট যেগুলো আছে নিয়ে গেলে তাদের সাথে দিলে যে আমি ইংরেজি বলতে পারি না এই তুমি নাও আমার উকিলের সাথে আলাপ করো অর্থাৎ আন্ডার কোনোভাবেই আপনি তাকে সুযোগ দেবেন না সবসময় যদি আর কিছু না বলেন my attorney will call simply এই কথাটা বলে দিলেই হলো
That was the third rule.
Yeah.
Very important.
And the third rule, okay, so third rule again, I don't want to talk to you without my attorney, okay? Fourth rule sounds almost exactly the same, but I have an attorney, they will call you.
এবং fourth rule is I have an attorney they will call you simply I have an attorney they will call you
It's so important we made it 2 rules.
Yes.
You just repeated it twice.
Yes. But it's different to say, it's different because one is saying, I don't want to answer the questions without
yeah
an attorney. And the other one is, I have an attorney.
affirmatively you're saying yes I have one.
Right. And this is the thing. Clear can be your attorney. Remember when we said it is a crime to lie to law enforcement? You are not lying if you tell them you have an attorney. Okay?
Okay, this is something I have আপনার যদি কোনো অ্যাটর্নি যদি নাও থাকেন মনে করুন আপনি চিন্তা করছেন আমি তো আমাকে তো বলা হয়েছে কোনো মিথ্যা যদি বলি তাইলে তো আমাকে আবার তারা ধরতে পারে কিন্তু আমার উকিল আছে মাথায় যে ক্লিয়ার আমাকে মাথায় রেখে যে ক্লিয়ার আমার উকিল হিসেবে কাজ করবে সেটা মাথায় রেখে তাদেরকে বলতে পারেন যে আমার উকিল আছে কারণ ওনারা আপনাদেরকে বিনা পয়সায় এই সাহায্য করবে সবসময় মাথায় রাখবেন যে ক্লিয়ার যখনই যদি কোনোভাবে এই ধরনের সিচুয়েশন আসে আপনার মসজিদেও বলবেন আপনারা নিজেরাও বলবেন যে এটা মিথ্যা মধ্যে পড়বে না যে আমি উকিল তো ধরি নাই তাহলে কিভাবে বলবো উকিল আছে বাট মেক শিওর এটা মাথায় রাখবেন যে ক্লিয়ার আপনাদের উকিল ওতে সব সময় বলতে পারেন যে আমার উকিল আছে
MashaAllah, we don't, Brother Abdul Aziz doesn't need us here. I don't know why he even invited us. He could just do this by himself, MashaAllah.
Yeah, and you can call us after.
Yes.
He's a great community activist.
He's
He's better than us.
I'll bring you along for the
We need
next
everyone.
Yeah, next one, yeah.
Okay, so the fourth rule, I will have my attorney call you. Okay? Fifth rule, the fifth rule is kind of an emergency rule. Okay? It's if you would let them into your space. You tell them, and they start looking around, you tell them, I do not consent to this search.
I do not consent to the search.
I do not consent to this search.
Consent মানে রাজি হই নাই মনে করুন আপনি ভুল করে দরজা খুলে দিলেন তারা ভিতরে ঢুকলো ঢুকে তারা খোঁজা শুরু করলো তখন তাকে আপনাকে জোরে বলতে হবে ইংরেজিতে যদি বলতে পারেন তাহলে ভালো I do not consent meaning আমি রাজি হই নাই
So, and you can say it different ways. You can say, I don't give you
or
permission.
I don't give you permission I do not agree
I don't agree, exactly.
Anything.
As long as you make it clear to them. Now, they might continue doing it anyway, going back to the chef's question earlier. They might continue doing it anyway, but it's important that you said it to them, because then you can tell us, as your lawyers, that you said it, that you did not give them permission, which makes it an illegal search.
Okay, এটা খুব very important দিন যেটা বলছেন যে ধরেন সে ঢুকলো ঢুকে আপনি বলার পরে সে সার্চ করতেছে সেটা করো আপনি তাকে ফিজিক্যালি বাধা দিতে যাবেন না আর সেটা আপনার জন্য ইলিগাল হবে সে যে ইলিগাল কাজ করতেছে আপনার এটা বলায় এটা প্রমাণ হলো সে ইলিগালি আপনার বাসা সার্চ করতেছে আপনার লোকেশন সার্চ করতেছে এইটা যখন আপনি বলবেন যখন আপনার উকিলের কাছে বলবেন সেটা আপনার পক্ষে একটা সাক্ষী হবে ভেরি ক্লিয়ার বুঝছেন তো আপনি ঢুকলো কিন্তু এই দিনে ঢোকার পরেও যখন তারা ফোর্সফুলি বা তারা তাদের নিজের ইচ্ছায় সার্চ করতেছে ইউ মেক শিওর যে আপনি এই কথাটা বলবেন যে আমি তোমাকে আই ডিড নট গিভ ইউ পারমিশন আই ডিড নট কনসেন্ট যদি আমার কঠিন শব্দ হয় আই ডু নট ওয়ান্ট ইউ টু ডু সার্চ এনিওয়ে যেভাবে পারেন আপনি বলবেন এটা তাইলে তারা যদি তারপরও সার্চ করে এটা আপনার পক্ষে যাবে
Okay, so that was rule 5.
Yes. All right. So, how are we doing on time? All right. We're going to go through a little role play to show you how these rights should work.
Yeah.
জবাবগুলো বুঝছেন তো আমরা ওনারা অ্যাক্টিং করবে
So
একজন হবে পুলিশ একজন হবে আমরা একজন মানুষ দেওয়াল জরিশা
yeah, so
I don't know if you want to come down here maybe to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be at my home, or I'm going to be the imam.
Yeah. Imam
and
Tom.
let him be Rob because he has a lot of
Oh, I know. I have a weird. No,
Miles is going to be the officer.
I'm Agent Miles.
I'm kidding.
Imam Tom.
I'm just
I
kidding.
didn't know that.
Just do whatever you want.
This changes everything.
Should we do it?
Yeah, let's just do it.
Okay, so I'm the imam.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
And there's a door right here.
Yes. how's it going? Are you Imam Tom?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. That's good. You know, I was just driving around Sunnyside, and you know, I just thought I would stop by and ask you some questions. You know, this is your masjid over here, down the block, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
okay. That's nice. It's a very nice place. It's a very nice place.
It is.
Yeah.
Do you want to come in?
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd
Sure,
be great.
Come on in.
You have do you have any tea or anything like that?
Sure, yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
great, wonderful. Yeah, I was just coming to ask you about, you know, how's it going at the masjid? Like, you know, you guys talking about some current events? or
Yeah,
anything
things
like
are
that?
going well. Things
Yeah?
are going well. Yeah.
You talking about
lectures come in?
Right.
Give lectures.
You talking about all the people coming from, you know, Syria?
Not all the time, no,
No?
but it's in the news.
Oh, you don't talk about
Comes
that
up.
in your lectures?
But you know, if a lecturer mentions it, sure. But
Okay. This is a really nice place. This is a really nice place, Tom.
yeah, thank you.
You care if I
Nice.
you care if I look in this back room here?
Yeah. Why are you gonna look in the back room?
I mean, it's just really nice. I just thought I'd take a look.
Okay.
You got,
Sure.
you got a lot of books back here.
Sure.
I'd like to check out your
Sure.
books.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so that's it. Okay, so started searching. What did I do? Well, first of all, did I do anything right? No. Okay. All right. Everything wrong. Okay. So what did I do wrong?
You did one thing right.
You allowed him, not let him in. No.
Okay. So the first thing, I let him right in. Right? I opened the door and I even offered him tea.
Darjeeling tea, maybe.
Exactly. So that was awful. So I broke the golden rule number 1. I let him right in. What else?
You didn't look for the IDs.
That's right. Golden rule
Very
number
good.
2.
Very observant
I
group.
didn't ask for his ID. I have no idea who he is.
I don't think I even told him my name.
Right. This
That's-
strange-looking man just came right in, and I didn't even ask for his ID. I don't know who he is, so I should have asked for his ID. What else?
As he goes in, then
Break the partition for enter the house.
Gave him permission to enter the house. He can see everything in the masjid. And I'm talking to him. Right?
without attorneys.
How many times did we say, I don't want to talk to you without an attorney? I didn't say it once. I've said it at least 20 times today, and I didn't say it once then. Okay, so that was golden rule number 3. Golden rule number 4, I'll have my attorney call you. Didn't say that. Right, and then what else? There's one more thing that happened.
Looking for something and you give
He
permission.
just searched everything. And who knows what he found, who knows what he's looking for. And that's really important because when law enforcement comes to our homes or the masjid, we don't know what they're looking for. We don't know the information that they know. We don't know why they're targeting any particular individual. And so I just let Officer Miles
Can I say
search.
one?
Yeah.
I think most of the circumstances in most of the masjid, lot of police officers they show up for this reason. Usually most people they do what you do. They just let them in and talk because of no knowledge. That's why most of the people do. So we need the knowledge.
Sure.
Right.
It's because in our houses is different than the masajid. You know that our mosque is open,
Yeah.
always open.
Yeah.
When someone come as a guest, as this is like a part of our religion that we receive everyone to our masajid, and we do not ask anything. Another question that sometimes we receive delegations. They come from different states, different places, and it could be one of them. We do not know who it is.
So that's a
We-
different issue. That's a
Yeah?
different, I'm just going to trust you. That's a different issue. Here, we're talking about they come here, tell you I'm police. What you're talking about is an informant. That's the difference. They'll do another workshop. Informant is somebody that you don't know. Abdul Aziz might be informant. Sheikh Walid might be informant. We don't know. But here we're talking about somebody comes to you and tell you that I'm so and so, without showing you ID. So your job is to make sure. Let me just say in Bengali. So it'll be, yeah. Sheikh Walid, let me just say in English, then I'll translate. I'm doing their job. Your job is to make sure the two part of it. One, an informant that we have no idea what the person is doing. He will never tell you I'm an informant and so and so. So in that case, you're open to all this thing. So he comes in, he sits with you. I might be informant, you don't know. So I might be doing all this thing, Abdul Aziz is the great guy and all this thing, but I am here to do a job. So that's something you don't know. But here we're talking about that you know somebody coming to you, telling you, I am FBI, I am CIA, I am NYPD, all that. In that case, what do you do? In the masjid, they come in and tell them, I'm come from NYPD, I want to do this. What they've shown you, that's what you do. You know, I mean, let me just tell you another. In the masjid, যখন চারবে যখন বলবে যে আমি পুলিশ অফিসার, বাসায় যখন আসবে বলবে আমি FBI, whatever তারা যখন পরিচয় দিবে, তো পরিচয় দেওয়ার পরে আপনার এই যে 1 2 3 4 5 1 to 5 এই প্রত্যেকটা রুলগুলো তখন অ্যাকশন করবেন আপনারা। ইউ উইল অ্যাক্ট অন দোজ 5 রুলস। যে যখন পরিচয় দিবে বলবে, যদি পরিচয় না দেয় দেন এনাদের ওয়ার্কশপ তারা বলবে যে কিভাবে এগুলোর সাথে হ্যান্ডেল করতে হয়। বাট এগুলো হিয়ার উই টকিং অ্যাবাউট, এখানে আলাপ হচ্ছে যে পরিচয় দেওয়ার পরে কিভাবে কি করতে হবে এটার উপরে।
And one thing,
that's one question.
and let me just add one thing, and then we'll take a question, Shem. Because keep in mind, there are FBI agents and there are NYPD detectives who are Muslims. So if they're coming to the masjid as Muslims to pray, then they're like any other Muslim. There's no problem. Being FBI, being NYPD, that's their job. But they're coming to the masjid as a Muslim to pray. That's normal, it's fine. And of course they should come into the masjid. But we're talking about if they're coming, whether or not they're Muslim, if they're coming as FBI agents or as NYPD detectives to ask questions. That's when you exercise these rights. So remember, it's not us and them. There are many Muslims in the FBI, many Muslims in the NYPD. It just depends, how are they coming? Are they coming as Muslims to pray, or are they coming as detectives and agents to ask questions?
Sometimes police officers come to the masjid and with their uniform and they want collect to the report from the masjid, especially month of Ramadan. Every day they come to the masjid, 2, 3, 4, 5 police officers, and they ask how you are doing, how is your activities, anybody disturb you, everybody is okay. So for that reason, also we ask them this 5 question or without question.
This is a very good point that the Imam is raising. If they come and they're just checking, hey, is everything okay? This is like your local police, right? Like your local precinct. Community affairs at your local precinct. Look, if they're just coming to see, are you okay? Did someone attack the masjid? Did someone attack? They're doing their job, that's fine. You tell them, no one attacked the masjid. We're talking about a very specific thing where they're not coming to check on you to make sure you're okay. Or maybe they'll start that way and then they start asking you questions about what you think politically. That's when you exercise your right. But if they stop at, are you okay? Is everything fine? Have you been attacked? That's fine. We want them to do this. That's them doing their job. But when they cross the line and they start asking you about your political opinions, they start asking, and I'm not making anything up. What Tom said, what do you think about the Arab Spring? What do you think about the war in Afghanistan? Are you a Salafi? These questions they've asked our clients.
Yes.
And those are not questions that are okay. That's not a part of their job. That's where you exercise the 5 rules. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is this clear?
But those persons, same person, he cannot show their ID. What can he do those times?
If they don't show ID.
Yeah, they didn't show the ID.
Okay, so
Then
what would you do?
Then I can call the police.
I mean, look, what do you think? What do you think? If I came to you and I didn't show you my ID, I said, hey, look, I'm FBI, answer all these questions. What can you do? Huh? What? That's one option. I don't know who you are. I'm not going to answer any questions. One other option is to say, I'm not going to answer any questions. I don't know who you are, and I'm going to call 911. But these are exactly your options. You don't have to answer any questions. And even when they identify themselves, do you have to answer questions? No.
Or as we've been saying, you've got our number on speed dial or something, and you even call us and say, I'm calling my lawyer. You're not identifying yourself. You're asking me all of these questions.
So it's very important what you said, যেটা বলছেন যে ওনাদের নাম্বার আপনাদের স্পিড ডায়ালে রেখে দেন 1 Ramzi Kaseem, so clear. So they know, so then তাদেরকে আপনি can put them on the line. But very important, উনি যেটা বলছেন যে পয়েন্ট, আমরা মসজিদে যারা জড়িত আছেন প্রত্যেকটা কমিউনিটি অ্যাফেয়ার্স অফ দ্য প্রিসেন্ট আপনাদের সাথে ওদের সম্পর্ক আছে। কমিউনিটি অফিসারদের জব ডেসক্রিপশন আমরা যারা আছে তারা কি প্রশ্ন তারা করতে পারে, অর্থাৎ দেয়ার রেসপন্সিবিলিটি হলো, তাদের দায়িত্ব হলো আপনাদেরকে মানে প্রত্যেকটা মসজিদ বা যেগুলো হাউস অফ ওয়ার্শিপ যেগুলো আছে ওইগুলোকে তারা প্রোটেক্ট করা, তাদের কোনো অসুবিধা তারা জানতে। যখনই আপনি মনে করবেন যে তারা এই লাইন ক্রস করে চলে যাচ্ছে, একজন কমিউনিটি অফিসার একজন প্রেসিডেন্ট হতে কমিউনিটি অফিসার আপনি 2 বছর 3 বছর থেকে কাজ করতেছেন, তো আপনার একটা আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং আছে সে কি চায়। নতুন একজন আসছে সে বলবো আমি অলসো এ কমিউনিটি অফিসার, কিন্তু ইন রিয়ালিটি সে হয়তো না। এখন আপনাকে সে যখন আপনি নর্মাল যে প্রশ্ন যেগুলো করে তার হি ইজ গোইং বিয়ন্ড দ্যাট, নট আ নর্মাল কোয়েশ্চেন ইজ আস্কিং, নাও সে ইজ গোইং বিয়ন্ড দ্যাট, একটু বেশি প্রশ্ন করতেছে, তখনই আপনি সাথে সাথে তার স্টপ করবেন এখানে। Don't give any more.
So just remember that there's a line. Even with the community
Yes.
affairs people, if they're doing their job, they're just going to ask you, are you okay? Did someone attack the masjid?
Yes.
Did someone attack a member of the
Simple
masjid?
question.
That's the line.
They
If
don't
they
know the
cross
details.
that line, I don't care if they're community affairs or I don't care if they're the president. If they cross that line, that's when you exercise your rights and you exercise these rules.
I have another question. Sometime officers with uniform, they pass by. They tell us about and invite us, like community meeting. And sometime FBI they invite us. So should we attend both party or some difference?
I think what I would advise you to do is to contact us at Clear when you get these invitations. Because we now know, for example, that the FBI Community Affairs Office has been used to collect information about the Muslim community. So we know that they've crossed the line. And I think with the NYPD, it's possible that they've also been crossing the line. So they're telling you it's just community affairs, but they're actually collecting information and putting it in reports and using it against people in the community. So like, they'll find out from you that this other brother doesn't have a visa, and they'll use that against him to pressure him to become an informant. So that's why we think if you're getting these kinds of invitations, before you say yes or no to the invitation, contact us. Inshallah, we'll try to advise you. And depending on what it is, we'll say it's okay or it's not okay, and then you can make your decision with more information.
Maybe just sensitivity training. Sometimes when I go through the sensitivity training.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what it is. That's why, it depends what it is.
Mr. Ramzi, let me just add with you on point. I'm involved with the community for a long time. So they
Was it-
show up and I go to
Community
the
officer,
meeting.
he's in
And
Manhattan.
I'm so, most of the time I go to the meetings. So
Yeah.
this is different. Like if you know your local precinct,
Yeah, exactly.
if the community people invite you, you know them. So you can go there, there is no problem.
And when you go there, it's not just Muslims, right? It's everyone, different
Yeah,
representatives from
all of
the,
them that show up.
it's from the local neighborhood. So that's different with the community liaison. But if it's the FBI, we want you to be careful. We want you to contact us. If it's your local precinct and they're inviting, the reverend from the church
Yeah.
and you, the imam from the mosque and the shopkeepers, that's their job, and you're a member of that community. So does that difference make sense? Like if it's the FBI community affairs, contact us. If it's like your local precinct and you know that, the reverend, the pastor, they're being invited to, I think that's okay. And as long as you keep in mind that line, if they start asking you questions that are inappropriate, you know to exercise.
Question and answer, but we'll have one more thing, then inshallah we'll open it for
Yeah,
all
then we'll open
questions.
it for
Right.
So let's do it inshallah.
Right.
Go ahead.
So we're gonna do another thing. So raise of hands. Who remembers the 5 golden rules? Who remembers them?
পাঁচটা
Okay.
কার মনে আছে যে 5 রুল যেটা বলা হয়েছে
Alright.
কোদের মনে আছে?
Who
I
wants?
said half. Most of them are half. Is that you don't remember this 5 rules?
Who wants?
Hopefully everyone
Yeah.
remembers the 5 rules.
Who wants to be in who wants to be in another skit? Who wants to
আপনারা
do
কি
another act?
ভলান্টিয়ার করতে চান আসেন?
Who wants to come up
One
to
One একজন আসেন.
Zakaria, Fadal.
We need one
One
volunteer.
second, it's fine. Is it?
Okay.
He's there.
Right.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
Jazakallah khair.
Sometimes I forget.
No,
This is good. You'll
that's
practice.
fine. No, that's good. I'll make it real. Okay. Tom and I are going to
Well,
be.
I'll be here to, if you forget, I'll be here to
Yeah.
help you
He
out.
doesn't
I-
exist. He's your angel.
Right.
He's just-
Yes. So I'm Agent Miles. Okay.
Am I imam still?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
You are you. You are you.
I'm not yet.
All right. I'm gonna cheat a little bit.
Zakaria.
Imam
All right.
Zakaria.
Got it.
Yes? Who is this?
Hello. Is that Mr. Zakaria?
Yes.
Oh. Hi. How's it going? This is Agent Miles. I was just wondering. It's a little rainy out here. You mind if I come in and talk to you for a second?
Who is that? Miles?
Yes. Agent Miles. Agent Miles. Yes. With the FBI. I'm with the FBI. Can you let me in? It's raining out here.
I have attorney, they will call you.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not asking for an attorney. It's raining out here. Can I just come inside? I mean, I forgot my umbrella in the car. It's really, you know. I'm just trying to ask a few questions. It's no problem. You're in no trouble. You can let me in. It's just wet out here.
Without attorney, I don't like to speak with you.
No, you're not in trouble. You're not in trouble. It's just raining out here.
I have attorney, they will call you.
Okay, you can play this hard. You can play this hard, or you can play this easy. You can just let me inside right now, and you won't have any problems. But if you leave me out here, my suit's gonna get wet. I'm gonna get really upset.
I have attorney, they will call you.
Okay, whatever. It's like, there you go.
That's how you do it.
So this is one thing to realize is that, you know, it's not always polite. You know, they're not always polite. Sometimes they'll use any opportunity that they can.
Yeah, and it's not always, I mean, we're talking about it as if it's easy to say, I don't want to talk to you without an attorney, I'll have an attorney call you. It's not always easy in the moment, right? It can oftentimes be very intimidating, especially if they're coming to your house or your masjid. And
So Zakaria, was it hard?
No, I
So it is going to be difficult in that moment.
Yeah.
You're talking to someone with a badge, with a gun. They're going to pressure you. They're going to threaten you.
Usually they come with the uniform more than...
Come with a suit, or they come dressed normal. Usually the FBI, the NYPD detectives who do this, they come dressed normal. But they're going to start nice, and if they see that you're exercising your rights, they're going to try to pressure you. And it's going to be difficult to say no. It's going to be difficult to do what Imam Zakaria did, which is keep on saying
the same thing, yes.
keep on saying the same thing 6 times, 10 times.
That's it.
You're gonna be angry.
They're going to pretend to be angry.
This is something also, I'm sorry, I just want to add something.
Yeah, please.
Sometimes তারা করবে কি তারা আপনাকে মনে করেন তারা জানে যে আপনার ইমিগ্রেশন সমস্যা আছে তারা এসে বলবে যে তুমি ইফ ইউ লেট মি ইন তোমার ইমিগ্রেশন সমস্যা আমি সমাধান করে দেব দে নিড সার্চ আপনার এখানে আসার আগে তারা আপনার ব্যাপারে পুরোপুরি ইনফরমেশন নিয়ে আসছে আপনার 2 ভাইয়ের জন্য আপনি অ্যাপ্লাই করছেন এক ভাইকে দেন নাই 3 বোনকে করছেন দে নো অল দ্যাট Tara, they will come to you and tell you that I'm going to make sure that your sister, that you remember your sister Farida Ahmed, you applied, I'm going to get her in. You'll be surprised that Tara, how did they know Farida Ahmed? So, এই সব ইনফরমেশন নিয়ে আমি আবার জিনিসটা বলি 8 মিলিয়নের মধ্যে আপনাকে পিক আপ করছে there is a reason for it.
That's right. And they're going to try, you know, as Brother Aziz said, they're going to try every trick they can think of to get you to start the conversation. So
About parking ticket, any violation. Forget about, remember somebody was complaining, somebody আপনাদের মসজিদ থেকে কেউ আপনার এগেইনস্টে কমপ্লেইন করছে ওইটাও সে জানে কিন্তু ওইটাও বলবে যে তোমার এগেইনস্টে একটা কেস আছে আমি জানি তোমার মসজিদ তোমার সঙ্গে কমপ্লেইন আছে আমি ওইটা সলভ করে দেব তো আপনি চিন্তা করবেন যে oh yes that's true if somebody complain and you know let's say what এটা যদি সত্য হয়ে থাকে if it is true that somebody from your mosque made a complaint against you he knows that and he's going to say I'm going to solve that problem for you you'll open the door and let him in. Do not forfeit. এইগুলা যত ঠিকই করো make sure that you stand firm. উনি যেভাবে শক্তভাবে বলবেন our attorney will talk. That's what you say. If nothing else, that's what you say.
Yeah, very important information. So that's about all of our presentation.
I don't know if there's any questions, Ishal, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Imam Mukid had the question.
I have 3 questions.
Okay.
Number 1, which is that sometimes we left our masjid door is open. So if the detective police officer, they came in and they're asking me about the activities, what is the activity of the masjid? And the second question, first question they used to ask, what is the activities of the masjid? The second question, which is, let me see your ID.
They will ask you your ID.
Yes.
Okay.
They will ask me, yes, let me see your ID, who you are. What is your name? What is the name of the president, executive members, or some question? What should I do on that situation?
What's the third one?
This is the question about the detective officers. The second question,
Third one, yeah.
the first question about the one subject. The second question, sometime from the precinct they called, they said, Imam, we want to come to check your video surveillance. Some of the masjid has video surveillance camera. They said some incidents was happened last night, so we want to see your camera to the street view. who did that for the security purpose of the community. On that situation, what should I do? Should I let them in or not? Third question, which is that one time there are two FBI agents. They went my previous address. When they knocked the door, the lady who is from our county, so she says, no, Imam, he does not live anymore on that address. So they called me. They said, Imam, we want to contact with you. Then 2 hours, I tried best of my knowledge to find any lawyers or someone, but it's very hard and difficult to find a lawyer within an hour or 2 hours. So I found friends of mine who are able to speak English proper way, because I did not understand properly in English. So before I invite them, they came to me. They came in front of my masjid. So I let them in. Okay, have a seat. So when they say someone with me, their first question, let me see your ID, who you are. And they show me their ID. They are from FBI agent. And later they ask me, let me show your ID. When I give them my ID, they write down my name, date of birth, ID numbers. Then they says, who is he? I says, I'm not able to speak English proper way, I don't understand. So friends of mine, he can explain to me. They said, no, we'll contact with you alone. We do not want to sit with someone else with you. Fourth question. Fourth question now, with the one time, maybe I don't realize. Fourth question. If we get any letters from Human Resource Administration, what should we do? What should we do on that situation? Human Resource Administration or some immigration about the Medicaid, about some other reason, what should we do? Fifth question.
I thought you said 3, brother.
It's divided. Fifth question. Usually police officers, they came with ID. They have their names on their ID, from which precincts they came.
Okay.
Sometimes there are 2 groups of police officers came. If I have some difficulties with the neighbors or some friends or the accidents, sometimes 2-3 police officers came. So sometimes they did not favor us. They favored to someone else. One time I got an accident. Some of my friends. So the short question, which is that on that situation, am I able to take his pictures? Because sometimes I'm not able to realize the name, the long name, the English name. So am I able to get the picture? Because when I went to the precinct, captain says, which officers went to?
I get it, I understand. So, okay, the last question is very simple. I mean, yes, you're allowed to take photos of the police. You just have to do it from a safe distance. You're not interfering with them. You can take a photo. Badge, person, that's fine. The question about you're getting letters from human resources, you're getting letters from immigration, this is something maybe we can connect you with services at Clear. Maybe we don't do it directly ourselves, but if you contact us, we can maybe connect you to other lawyers who can help you, inshallah, with that. Human resources, immigration, there's different things. Your question about the video, if they come to you and they say, we want the surveillance footage from your camera outside the mosque, we would advise you to contact us at Clear if that happens. Because we don't know. Maybe they're telling you that someone broke into the supermarket around the corner and they want the video of that, but maybe in reality they want to see who's coming in and out of the masjid, right? So if that's happening, contact us and we can talk to them and we can figure out the best way forward. Does that make sense? Now you're saying the FBI is
they're already in.
the FBI is already in. Now that you've seen this workshop, what do you think you should have done? And this isn't just a question for you; it's a question for everyone. When that happened, when the FBI came to the masjid or came to the house and asked to talk to you, what should you have said?
The first, which is that I'm not able to give you the answer. I have an attorney.
That's right. And even for the ID, by the way, when you're on the street and the police stops you, you have, we say it's better to show some kind of ID with your name or photo. You don't have to legally, but we say it's better because it makes it faster. But when you're at your home or at your masjid, you don't even have to do that. They're coming to you. They're coming to your place. They have to show you ID. You don't have to show them ID. But even if you show them ID, that's where you should stop. Don't answer any questions. So, back then you didn't know, and so you sat down with them, you had a conversation with them. But now you know. So next time, if it happens, you tell them, You saw their badges and stuff, you ask for their cards and you stop there, you say, my lawyer is going to contact you. And you say it as many times as Imam Zakaria said, if you have to. Is that clear?
Yes.
I think is it we're also running out of time.
Yeah, so
সেকেন্ড যদি আমাদের জন্য হয় আমি যে এখানে আসছি বিষয়টা যখন আমি জানতে পারছি তখন আমার মনে হয়েছে এখানে গেলে আমার উপকার হবে কিন্তু আমাকে যদি কেউ প্রশ্ন করে যে এগুলি কেন আপনারা শুনতেছেন আপনি কি মনে করেন কি কারণে শুনতেছেন আমি এটার বিস্তারিত আলোচনা করতে পারবো না ওনারা কি মনে করে আমাদেরকে অ্যাডভাইসটা দিচ্ছেন ওনারা কি ভাবেন যে কেন আমাদের এই ইনফরমেশনগুলির প্রয়োজন একটু ব্যাখ্যার সহিত ওনারা আলোচনা করবেন
The first question is it only for number one? Number two is, if somebody asks them, why are you coming here to get this information? What benefit is it to you or your community? And why are you doing it?
if someone asks you,
Ask them.
organize this program.
Oh, why they came here?
Yeah, why do you pick them up? And what is your benefit? What is your interest in doing
what is
that?
ours?
Our interest.
Okay, so the question
I can
is,
talk about the second
Okay.
question.
but
you
the
can
first
talk.
question is, the,
Is it just for
is
imams?
it just for the Muslim or not? For the imams or not?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is for everyone. The reason that we're telling you is because it's for everyone. Because you are pillars of your community. Because you are leaders. You are people that, you know, people come and ask you questions all the time and like, you know, you want to give advice. You want to give solid advice. These are the rights that everybody has. These are the rights that everybody has in their homes. It doesn't matter who they are. It's the same rights for everybody. So please, this is not just for you. Please share it. Please share it with all of your congregants. Please share
Spread
it.
the message.
Yeah.
We're hoping that the video is made available, if possible, so that you can share the video of this with.
Just your interest.
And one last thing before Brother Aziz translates. Like I said at the beginning, so as Miles said, this is information for you to use and you to advise members of your community. As Tom said, the video, inshallah, is something that with the brothers' help, you can distribute in your community as well. Maybe you can have the DVD at your masjid and you can show it to people. And the third thing I'll repeat from what I said at the beginning, clear, our organization is more than willing to come to your masjid, inshallah, and to do a similar workshop for the members of your community if you want us to. Our contact information is on those flyers. You let us know the date, and inshallah we'll be there.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, I'm just going to address this thing. I'm just saying in Bengali so that they understand. প্রথম ইয়ে হলো যে আমরা আজকের এই যে গ্যাদারিংটা সেমিনারটা অর্গানাইজ করা হয়েছে ITV24 মসজিদ শুরার পক্ষ থেকে। আমরা ITV24 মসজিদ শুরা এটা মনে করছি এটা আমাদের কমিউনিটিতে এই জিনিসটা জানা দরকার, বিশেষ করে ইমাম যারা আছেন, লিডারশিপ যারা আছেন, অনেকেই আমাদের এইসব ব্যাপারে মোটেও কোনো আইডিয়া নাই। এবং এটা যখন কোনো এই সার্ভিসে যখন দরকার হবে, কোনো উকিলও দরকার হবে, ক্লিয়ার ওনারা এটা ফ্রি সার্ভিস দিবেন। এখন ক্লিয়ারের ক্লিয়ার জিনিসটা কি, 9/11-এর পরে যখন দেখা গেছে যে মেজরিটি অফ দ্য মুসলমান কমিউনিটি, সাউথ এশিয়ান কমিউনিটি, আরব কমিউনিটিস, এইসব সমস্যা যখন ইংলিশ, এই সমস্যা যখন মুসলমান এই যে 200 অ্যারেস্টের কথা বললেন উনি, তাদের মধ্যে মেজরিটি ক্ষেত্রে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে আমাদের মানুষ না জানার কারণে বিপদে পড়ে মেজরিটি মানুষ। এই জিনিসটাকে কিভাবে মানুষের কাছে নেওয়া যায়, ওনারা একটা অর্গানাইজেশন করতে, অর্গানাইজেশন আমি হচ্ছে CLEAR, CLEAR। উনি what is it stand for?
Creating law enforcement accountability and responsibility.
ওকে, বাংলা বলি, তার মানে ল এনফোর্সমেন্ট যারা আসবে তাদের দায়িত্বশীলতার উপর, তাদেরকে দায়িত্বশীল বানানো, যারা যাতে করে আমাদেরকে অন্যভাবে হ্যারাস করতে না পারে, ওইটা কিভাবে দেখা গেছে যে আমাদের বিশেষ করে আরব মুসলিম সাউথ এশিয়ান কমিউনিটিতে এই সমস্যা মানুষের কাছে গেলেই মানুষ ইনোসেন্টলি সব বলে দেয়, আলটিমেটলি মানুষ নিজেকে বিপদে ফেলে। তো এইটাকে কিভাবে প্রতিহত করা যায়, মানুষ কিভাবে সাহায্য করা যায়, এটার জন্য এই অর্গানাইজেশনটা আমরা করছে সিটি ইউনিভার্সিটি অফ নিউ ইয়র্ক ল স্কুলের ইয়েতে, উনি হলো এটার প্রধান। এটা অ্যাবসলিউটলি ফ্রি এবং এটা আপনাদের সার্ভিস ওনাদেরকে যখনই প্রয়োজন হবে, উনি যেটা বলছেন যে আপনাদের এই সিমিলার ওয়ার্কশপ ইনফরমেন্ট কীভাবে ধরা যেতে পারে, যদি ইনফরমেন্ট যদি আসে তাদের সাথে কীভাবে ব্যবহার করেন, আপনারা যদি চান আপনাদের মসজিদে ওনারা গিয়ে আসবে, এসে এই সেম ওয়ার্কশপটা দিবে আপনাদের মুসল্লিদের সামনে। ওনাদের নাম্বার এখানে আছে, আপনারা নাম্বার নেবেন। and at the end I'm going to say we're going to almost, if there's anybody, ইমামদের কাছ থেকে যদি 1 মিনিট যদি কথা বলতে চান, anybody, one,
But can I say one more
Sure,
thing?
sure.
The question you asked was, okay, why is Clear doing this? And I think Brother Aziz touched on it. But we are a non-profit, so we do this for free. And we do it because no other organizations are doing it. And because, as Brother Aziz might have said, our Muslim communities are being targeted. And so for me personally as a Muslim, I consider this a wajib to provide this service. And that's why we work with Brother Abdul Aziz to inshallah, provide this service that otherwise is not available, because we do consider it our wajib to do that. So I just want to be very clear about that. This is the reason we're doing it.
If any must ask you, you will give the arrange workshop free or
Free of charge. There's no charge. There's no charge.
Brother Abdul Aziz is doing this for free.
Free, of
Brother
course.
Shahidullah is doing it for free.
Okay.
We're doing it for free.
Okay, thanks.
Unless you want to pay Abdul Aziz for something else. But no, alhamdulillah.
But
Alhamdulillah.
maybe we'll take some chai. If you have chai, we'll drink chai, but that's it.
Yeah.
But let me just say one more thing. We do 4 different workshops. So depending on your masjid, you may be interested in one or the other. We do this workshop on how to deal with the police if they come to you without breaking the law. So we can do a workshop on that too. So these are the 4 workshops that we can present free of charge in your communities if you need them, inshallah. So I don't know if you want to translate about these 4 workshops and then.
আপনারা বুঝছেন তো ওরা যে ফোর ওয়ার্কশপ যেটা শুনেন, এই ওয়ার্কশপগুলো বিশেষ করে আমাদের দেশি মসজিদগুলোতে এত পিছনে আমরা এসব ব্যাপারে আমরা নিজেরা জানি না, আমাদের মুসল্লিদের সাথে এই ব্যাপারে কোনো কথাও বলি না, আর না বলায় আলটিমেটলি দেখেন, আমি জাস্ট ওয়ান্ট টু গিভ ওয়ান একটা দেখেন, আপনি আমি গোনা টেক ওয়ান মোর মিনিট। চিন্তা করে দেখেন, যদি আল্লাহ ফরবিড ট্রাম্প বিকামস প্রেসিডেন্ট, যদি প্রেসিডেন্ট যদি নাও হয়, বর্তমানে যে ক্লাইমেট যে সৃষ্টি করছে এইখানে আমেরিকাতে, আমরা যদি অ্যাক্টিভ না হই, আমাদের অ্যাক্টিভ কীভাবে হচ্ছে, আমরা রেজিস্টার আমরা সিটিজেন এই দেশে মেক শিওর আপনার প্রতি জুম্মাতে আপনারা সবাই বলবেন যে যারা ভোটার রেজিস্টার ভোটার হয় এবং ভোট দেয়, যখনই তারা দেখবে, শোনেন আল্লাহর তরফ থেকে সব আসবে, কিন্তু আপনি বসে থাকলে হবে না। আমাদের সিভিক রেসপন্সিবিলিটি উই মাস্ট ডু, উই হ্যাভ ফর্মস। আমরা যদি এটা না করি, আপনাদের দায়িত্ব কিন্তু এটা, আপনাদের কাছে আল্লাহ সুবহানাহু ওয়া তাআলা এই কিন্তু জিজ্ঞেস করবে। এটা শুক্রবারে শুধু এটা খুতবাতে আপনারা মানুষকে এই ব্যাপারে উৎসাহিত করবেন যে সিভিক রেসপন্সিবিলিটি, ভোটার রেজিস্ট্রেশন করে ভোট দেয়, না হলে কিন্তু ট্রাম্প যদি নাও আসে, ক্রুজ আসে, এনিবডি কুড কাম, এর আমাদের এন্টায়ার সিচুয়েশন উইল বি অল মেসড আপ, এবং রেসপন্সিবিলিটি কিন্তু আমরা। এই জিনিসটা আপনারা অত্যন্ত সিরিয়াসলি নেন। প্রত্যেকটা মসজিদে খুতবাতে এগুলো কথা বলেন যে ভোটার রেজিস্ট্রেশন হয়, এবং আপনারা করবে কি স্প্রেডশিট বানান, যাদের ওদের নাম ফোন নাম্বার রাখেন যে কে রেজিস্টার হয়েছে না হয়েছে, তাহলে আমরা বলতে পারবো যে কতজন মানুষ হয়েছে মুসলমান ভোটার। এটা আমাদের জন্য একটা শক্তি যে আমরা যখন তাদের সাথে যখন বসি, তখন বলতে পারবো যে মুসলমান 10,000 মুসলমান ভোটার আছে, তুমি এটা করতে। গিভ মি ওয়ান এক্সাম্পল, জামাইকা মুসলিম, এটা লাস্টের জন লিউ একেবারে 100% পাস করার কথা ছিল। আমরা যখন তাকে কন্ডিশন দিয়েছি যে ইউ হ্যাভ টু অ্যাপোলোজাইজ, সে যখন এই যে ব্যানারের নিচে দাঁড়াইছিল, ইসরায়েলের ব্যানারের নিচে দাঁড়ায় বলছে যে তাদের পক্ষে সে আছে, আমরা only thing we demanded that you have to apologize for other মুসলমান ভোট পাবা না। আলহামদুলিল্লাহ আমরা 300 ভোটে তাকে ফেল করতে পারছি। যখনই আমরা এইভাবে we work together we can do it, but also we need to know our rights. ওনারা যেটা বলছে যে অল ওয়ার্কশপ যেগুলো আপনাদের দরকার হয়, ফ্লায়ার ওনাদের নাম্বার আছে, আমাকে ফোন করতে পারেন, আমি অ্যারেঞ্জমেন্ট করতে পারি, বাট ইটস বেটার দ্যাট আপনারা ডিরেক্টলি যোগাযোগ করেন, আদারওয়াইজ আমার মাধ্যমে যেতে হবে না, আমি আই ডোন্ট হ্যাভ টু গেট ইনভলভ। ডিরেক্টলি ওনাদেরকে যোগাযোগ করেন। সব ওয়ার্কশপ আল্লাহর ওয়াস্তে আপনি এই জিনিসটা খুলেন আপনাদের মসজিদগুলো, এদের জন্য, এফবি এর জন্য না, পুলিশের জন্য না। তাতে আমাদের সমস্ত কমিউনিটি বেনিফিট হবে, এবং ইনশাআল্লাহ আমরা সবাই আল্লাহর কাছ থেকে এটা সওয়াব পাবো।